हफीज कॉन्ट्रैक्टर, जन्म 19 जून 1950। बॉयज टाउन स्कूल नासिक और जय हिंद कॉलेज मुंबई में पढ़ाई। 1969 से 75 द एकेडमी ऑफ आर्किटेक्चर मुंबई से डिग्री। 1970, 1974 और 1975 में हफीज कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को डिजाइन अवार्ड प्राप्त। 1975 जे कॉलेज ऑफ आर्किटेक्चर मुंबई में एग्जीबिशन। 1976 जहांगीर आर्ट गैलरी मुंबई में वन मैन शो। 1976-77 कोलंबिया यूनिवर्सिटी अमेरिका से उच्च शिक्षा। जून 1977 से फरवरी 1982 एक कंपनी में हफीज कॉन्ट्रैक्टर बने एसोसिएट पार्टनर। मार्च 1982 से प्राइवेट प्रैक्टिस। 22 जून 1992 पर्ल ओ'कॉनर के साथ विवाह।
कहा जाता है कि किसी कौम या देश की सभ्यता उसके शहरों, इमारतों से पहचानी जाती है। इस हिसाब से अगर पिछले 50 सालों की भारतीय सभ्यता परखी जाए तो नतीजा कुछ ऐसा मिलेगा कि सभ्यता नाम की कोई चीज ही नहीं थी। कई कारण हैं जिनकी वजह से हमारे शहर बदहाल और बदसूरत नजर आते हैं, लेकिन एक खास वजह यह है कि आज़ादी के बाद हमने आर्किटेक्चर या वास्तुकला को इतनी मान्यता नहीं दी जितनी मिलनी चाहिए थी। इस बात को ध्यान में रखते हुए हम इस हफ्ते आपको मिला रहे हैं एक आर्किटेक्ट से जिसकी इमारतें, जिसका काम भारत के कई शहरों को एक नया रूप दे रहा है। आइए मिलिए हफीज कॉन्ट्रैक्टर से।
I did what I felt was right. I never listened to any doctrines or anybody that this is the style that I should follow. Every job that I got, I had a purpose to fulfill. And I went about fulfilling that purpose.
हफीज कॉन्ट्रैक्टर का काम सबसे ज्यादा मुंबई शहर में दिखता है, जहां उनकी बिल्डिंग्स में इतना नया अंदाज है कि दूर से ही पहचानी जाती हैं। उनका मानना है कि उन्होंने अपने आर्किटेक्चर में जानबूझ के हिंदुस्तान के सारे रंग भर दिए हैं।
I made a jumble of everything, and I felt that that was appropriate as an Indian style. Because you look at our Indian culture, we are a jumble of everything. Okay, you look at an Indian person, he's pretty loud. Unless and until he's loud, unless and until he bangs his drums, dum 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 on his festival, he's not happy. Okay, but at the same time, we have yoga, we have other things. So my architecture is also like that. In city, it is loud, it shows off. In villages and rural place, it is subdued and sublime. So I'm saying that I am the true Indian architect.
मुंबई के पवाई इलाके में हफीज साहब ने तकरीबन एक नया शहर बना दिया है, जिसमें हर बिल्डिंग पे उनकी खास छाप है।
We had so many flats, around about 300 flats, and I didn't want them to be just like mass housing. So each and every flat, I wanted that flat to be different. So I gave some of them decks, some of them balconies. Also, you see these huge column-like things, you know, which are really speaking, enclosing ducts, and you see, and a lot of people feel that, you know, this is like a Greek form, but in fact it's not derived out of a Greek form. In fact, it is derived because we had a lot of palm trees, and when I saw that, I said, you know, there should be something of what was existing. So I made these, like, you know, the Targola palms. I have done everything for a purpose. Okay, like say the round windows, the cutouts. The columns, the decks, the balconies, everything, each and everything is for a purpose, and it satisfies a functional aspect. I feel I go about designing, I try and solve a function. And I never say no to a client. however his needs may be absurd or demands may be absurd, I take his needs, like say a simple thing like this. Here, the plot was very, very narrow. The width of the building is the only built-up area on which I could build. And still I have carried all the FAR and still made it look good. So in fact, I feel that when there are hardships, you come out with something better. My father died before I was born, so my mother was a school teacher. So I used to stay in a charitable block somewhere, you know, in Gwalior time.
You're the only child.
Yeah, I'm the only child. So whatever you see is I have bought it, and so there's nothing like a family or it's all. I started with a salary of 30 rupees a month.
Yeah. हफीज कॉन्ट्रैक्टर सिर्फ अमीरों के लिए बिल्डिंग नहीं बना रहे हैं। वो मानते हैं कि जहां अमीरों का पैसा लेके वो आलीशान इमारतें बना रहे हैं, वहां गरीबों के लिए भी मुंबई जैसे शहर में रहने लायक जगह होनी चाहिए। हम उनके साथ गए मुंबई के तारदेव इलाके में, जहां वो एक स्लम में रहने वालों को नए घर दे रहे हैं।
Here we are going to rehouse 2,000 slum dwellers into transit camps, which you see like these, and then later on we are making pakka buildings for them. This is also pakka, but later on, you know, means architecturally also nice quality, and they'll be transferred into those, and subsequently we'll make housing which we are going to sell, which compensates for this cost. So this way, all the slums would be rehoused.
तो ये पूरे बॉम्बे में क्यों नहीं किया जा
So we are doing it in several places. We are selected. Now I am doing it as an architect. There's a developer. There's a okay. So different areas, people are doing it, but administrative approvals. It is taking time. We are working on this scheme for nearly more than a year and a half.
अब तक लंच का वक्त हो गया था, तो हम उनके साथ उस चाइनीज रेस्टोरेंट में गए जहां वो हफ्ते में तकरीबन हर दूसरे दिन दोपहर का खाना खाते हैं।
I eat about 4 to 5 times a week Chinese, and I like it more because it's pretty bland. At least you can get it pretty bland, and it's cooked right now, so I prefer that.
हफीज साहब का मानना है कि हमारे शहरों की हालत खराब हुई है गलत प्लानिंग, गलत नियमों की वजह से। वो कहते हैं कि जहां पुराने ज़माने में शहरों का निर्माण करना राजा महाराजाओं का काम होता था, आज के भारत में ये काम सरकारी अफसरों को दिया गया है, जो ये सोच के अपनी योजनाएं नहीं बनाते कि इतिहास किसी शहर को उनके नाम से याद करेगा।
In the olden days, the buildings were sponsored by king, queen, somebody who was really proud and who associated himself with those buildings. That yes, this my grandfather made it. This I made it. Today the buildings are sponsored by government bodies, and government bodies are headed by a bureaucrat, okay, or maybe a minister. But what happens that also is not the thing. And I feel that, you know, very few bureaucrats have that thing that, oh, this is done by me. They see it like that. A lot of them see it as, you know, another job which they are going to hop it after about 1 year or 2 years. So there's no pride associated with a building. And all good buildings are made with pride.
हफीज साहब क्योंकि मुंबई के हैं, तो उन्होंने इस शहर को सुधारने के लिए खास कोशिश की है। उन्होंने मुंबई के लिए एक योजना बनाई है जिसका मकसद है आम आदमी को समुंदर किनारे कई सुविधाएं उपलब्ध कराना।
What we feel that the sea should be the main area where a lot of people would like to stay. Today, the best of the housing should be at the sea. But sea, we have cut it off. So we are saying that it should be made more accessible. This is the plan that we done for the city. Now, this is right from Banganga to Bandra, and that's a complete park which you can devoid of any cars or anything. So you can cycle from here, 15 kilometers you can cycle. Then it continues over here and it will go further right into the Bandra Creek. We have been talking about the West Side Freeway for a long, long time, and it is opposed for some reason or the other. Now, this is a very good trading point for the city. The person who wants to put the West Side Freeway, the city tells them, you make this as a park also, and you get both. And this becomes a through traffic. Right now, all these areas which are the internal road and which were residential roads have become through traffic. And that's why we have traffic problem. So, and this is how your Worli area would be, where we said that this should be the center for immersing Ganpati. So we are putting Ganpati in the center, and with a promenade, with a light pole. So this will be a fun place to be in at any given time, and history will remember us for this.
जहां हफीज साहब भारतीय शहरों की बदहालत के लिए अफसरों और उनकी गलत योजनाओं को दोषी ठहराते हैं, वहां वो ये भी मानते हैं कि हमारे आम नागरिक भी अपने शहरों की सुंदरता पे ध्यान नहीं देते हैं। खास तौर से वो दोष देते हैं पत्रकारों को।
Forget izzat and forget honor and forget all that. I am just talking about exposure. Like say a simple thing. There is an exhibition of an artist. I was just telling you about an artist. Or there is an exhibition of salwar kameezes. How much of exposure in each and every magazine, Saturday Times and Sunday Times and this and that, and everyone will print, okay? And for him to design a salwar kameez, what is it takes? See, everything you must see from what he's done to what he's got. Take, for example, an artist. For an artist, he never has to nobody has to commission. He may be commissioned. He can take any size of a canvas. He can paint, a woman pink or red or green or blue with 5 legs or 6 legs or 4 hands or whatever he likes. There are no rules, okay? If he doesn't feel like painting, he doesn't paint. If he's got a tummy ache, he just sits. There is no time constraint. There is nothing. He doesn't, like a canvas size, he increases it. Whereas for an architect, and he makes a painting and everybody says, wow, 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 wow. Okay? With an architect, first of all, he has to get a job. Then that client will come and say, my site is only 100 feet by 100 feet. Okay? I have to restrict to that. Then I have bylaws. Okay? City bylaws, fire bylaws, okay? I have land ceiling bylaws, okay? Then I have, conditions from the client. I have to make so many square feet only. I have to make it in so many rupees. I have budget. Then he'll say, I have invested hell of a lot in my plot, so you give it to me tomorrow only. I can't say, no, today I got a backache. So he'll say, okay, then I'm walking off to another architect. So whether I have a backache or a headache or any ache, I have to perform by tomorrow. Then I have constructional aspects. Looking at everything, and I make a good building, and nobody bothers about it. And then how the hell do you want good buildings for in your city?
हफीज साहब से जब हमने पूछा कि उनके अपने काम में से उनकी सबसे पसंदीदा इमारत कौन सी है, तो बेझिझक जवाब मिला पूना में ओशो या रजनीश की आश्रम। इस बिल्डिंग के पीछे भी एक किस्सा है।
The job, when it came to me, they just told me that they wanted some of the meditation halls and some rooms for people to stay. I did one alternate, sent it to them. And the reply came, Osho likes it, but this is not what he's looking out for. He did it once, twice, thrice, and then I got fed up. I said, this is crazy, I can't meet the client. I don't know what his likes and dislikes are. And how can I design the building? So I told his people, who used to come to me. So came the answer. He sent me a big fat book, which was on world architecture. And there was a small photograph, slightly bigger than a stamp, and it was taken in the evening, you know. And I could just barely see, it was a barn house, but it was just like a pyramid. And there was one small window, which was blue in color. And he wrote on a small yellow page, black, black on black, and blue tinted windows. And he says, read this, look at this photograph, meditate, and then design my building. And I said, my God, it's getting worse than before. And as my way of working, I said, I can't get any idea, so I left it. Then one day I was doing a competition, and we were working very late. It was, I think, 3 o'clock in the morning. And a lot of my boys were doing cutting and pasting, and it was, somebody had cut on a black board, and with a cutter there were lines. And he was far off, and I suddenly got an idea, black and those lines, black on black. And suddenly I saw that photograph in my mind, and I said, oh, he wants me to do all his buildings in a pyramid shape, because pyramid is the shape, you know, which is most stable to me, okay? And it has some other qualities also because of its shape. And then I said, why blue tinted windows? Why blue tinted windows? I said, that's the first color that you see when you get God realized. And why black? And then I said to myself, oh, because black embodies all colors. So black embodies all colors. Blue, you see it when you first get God realized. And pyramid is the most stable and is the oldest form and the most natural form of building. And I took a paper, designed the building, cut it out of black paper, stuck it. From 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock, we designed and finished the presentation. I sent a man to Pune by a cab. He left at 7 o'clock. He must have reached there by 11. And 3 o'clock, I get a call from Pune. Osho loves you, and Osho wants to meet you. And that's how the building got designed.
Did you meet him?
He called me a couple of times. I was afraid that if I meet him, I'll join the commune. And I'm more in love with architecture than anything else. So I wanted to meet him, but I didn't meet him. I think that was my mistake.
और हफीज कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को अपना पहला कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कैसे मिला, वो एक दूसरा किस्सा है.
I used to go begging for jobs to builders. And I used to go and tell the builders that, okay, you design this building through another architect. I will design it free of charge. I'll give you more profit, and I'll give you a better looking building. Take my building, free. And I did that with so many builders.
So you worked free?
I worked free. I would go, design the building, show him the calculation that I'm giving you more profit, and this is how your building would look. He'll say, oh, it looks very good. I'll say, okay, take it. It's free for you. The next job, he called me.
किसी सभ्यता की पहचान उसके शहरों पे कितनी निर्भर है, उसका अंदाजा इसी से लगाया जा सकता है कि प्राचीन भारत के रहन सहन की समझ हमको अब भी हड़प्पा और मोहनजोदारो के खंडरों में मिलती है. ये खंडर अगर ना बचते तो वो इतिहास भी ना बचता. आज की तारीख में जब भी कोई देश में तरक्की आती है तो सुधार सबसे पहले शहरों में नजर आता है. भारतीय शहरों में ना ये सुधार अभी दिखता है, ना ही हमारी सरकारी इमारतों में कोई खूबसूरती नजर आती है.
For our cities to improve, you should give incentives. For everything, you should give incentives. And unless and until you give incentives, New York is doing it. Why can't you do it?
What sort of incentives?
Like say, take for example, Fountain area. When I was studying, there were so many restaurants. Okay, you need restaurants or not? Today, you go to Fountain area, I'll show you 10, 12 restaurants all closed down where we used to eat. Now, a normal guy who works in Fountain, where does he eat? He eats on that Hadgari guy. Why? A restaurant can't afford a real estate in Fountain, or a restaurant can't afford a real estate in Nariman Point, because all the restaurants are eaten up by banks. Because the bank, now you are a restaurant owner, okay? for whatever the love of your, with idli dosa and, with vada pav and whatever you are, okay? Somebody comes and says that I want your premises, and I'll give you 10 crores. Your grandfather also would make vada dosas, won't make 10 crores in his 3 generations also, okay? Or your grandchildren, sorry. So you'll say, am I out of my mind? They sell it off. Whereas other cities, they say that, okay, you're making a building, you make a restaurant, you get so much FSI more. You make a cigarette shop, you get so much FSI more. We need cigarette shops, we need panka shops, we need restaurants, we need cheap restaurants also, okay? All these are necessities that the city guys are not planning for. And they just keep on saying, oh, builders are making a lot of profit, this guys are, building industry is making a lot of profit. They'll kill the building industry and they're killing the cities.
हफीज साहब सरकारी नियमों के आलोचक ज़रूर हैं, लेकिन वो अब भी उम्मीद रखते हैं कि हम अपने शहरों को सुधार सकेंगे अगर हमारी नगर पालिकाएँ होनहार आर्किटेक्ट की सलाह लेकर अपनी योजनाएं बनाएं। वो कहते हैं कि हमारे एयरपोर्ट, रेलवे स्टेशन और अन्य सरकारी इमारतें तब अच्छी बनेंगी जब किसी की काबिलियत को देखकर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दिया जाए, ना सिर्फ पैसों की परवाह करके।
All government buildings, they ask for tenders. You heard of anything like a tender for an architect? They'll ask you, how much would you quote or how much would you charge to design a particular building, this building? And then they start taking quotations. Somebody quotes 1%, somebody quotes 2%, somebody quotes 3%, and the lowest guy gets it. And the fellow who's quoting, if price is only the criteria to judge the work, then they're getting all this kind of rubbish architecture. I'll just quote you an example. I was quoting for one public building, and I wanted to get that job. And I had worked out the minimum cost, and I said I must get it, and it's virtually I was doing it free. And I had quoted 3 lakhs as a lump sum fee. The other person quoted 50,000 and got it. Mind you, if we had quoted 30 lakhs, then also we were just scraping and coming out safely. And I was thinking of quoting 3 lakhs. It was just meeting my expenses for my paper. The other person quoted 50,000, got the job. And if I tell you what building it is, you will say, my God. And it's such a public building that in any other place, it's the first building that you see when you come from abroad.
It's the airport.
I don't say that.
हफीज कॉन्ट्रैक्टर के लिए काम ही जिंदगी है। जितनी खुशी उनको काम करने में मिलती है, किसी और चीज में नहीं मिलती। और काम खत्म होने के बाद जब उनको थोड़ी सी फुर्सत मिलती है, तो वो या तो घर में बैठ के पिक्चर देखते हैं या किताबें पढ़ते हैं, लेकिन सिर्फ आर्किटेक्चर पे।
I want to be the best, and time will prove it.